but I think the big, and maybe the bigger type of story is, and I know we're all coaches at home, we all sit on our couches and say, why isn't this person doing this? Why isn't this person doing that? And just because you have substitutions available doesn't necessarily mean that it's prudent or right for you to do it. And you can certainly see a game and a situation arise where you say, you know what, I don't want to mess with it. It's not broken, I feel it's going in the right direction. And I guess you could make a case for that. But Mosse, this is the U.S. women's national team. This is a historically great team. This is a historically talented team with incredible depth. This is the best 23 players that the U.S. has to offer. And in this moment, when the game was 1-1, when winning the game would make a big difference in terms of winning the group, Vlatko Andonovski turned, looked down his bench, and came to the conclusion that there is nothing there on that bench that is going to change the game for the better for me right now. And so I'm better off standing pat and not making a change. This is a little bit weird. Again, I can see a defense, but for the most part, and I think the majority of people, we are left scratching our head as this was done.
Great tweet by Paul Carr. In 40 World Cup games since 1999, this was the second time the U.S. women's national team made only one sub. The other was the 2007 opener versus North Korea, a 2-2 draw. The sub was Natasha Kai.
All right. Well, so this
Paul Carr, he's on it.
He's on it. I love Paul Carr.
But I agree with everything you said. And the options he bypassed, you had Lynn Williams, who scored against the Netherlands in the Olympics. You had Megan Rapino, who scored a big goal or two in her career. Yeah. Alyssa Thompson could have brought some energy against a tired back line. So I don't understand it. One of the U.S.'s great trump cards at this World Cup is their squad depth, which is better than anybody else's. And for him to not utilize that today was stunning to me.
You say that. Do you really believe that? I mean, have we been led to believe something that ends up not being true? I mean, could Vlatko have a better handle on it in that maybe it is false, in that there's not as much depth as we actually think?
I think losing Macario and Swanson sapped a little bit of the attacking depth, but still, I look at that. I mean, we just mentioned three pretty good names to have off the bench. You know, you put one of them on, maybe it's their day, they score a goal.
And it'd be one thing if Trinity Rodman or Sophia Smith were lighting it up, or Alex Morgan. I know there are a lot of calls to change out Alex Morgan up there. And so none of the three was dominating the game. While the U.S. had come into their own and at times was dominating, you never got the sense necessarily that any of those three were going to break through. And they had their opportunities. So if he had made changes to any of those three up top, I don't think that there is a U.S. fan out there that would have said, oh, that's ridiculous. I can't believe that he's doing that. As a matter of fact, I think the majority of fans out there were saying, do something, make a change, freshen it up. If nothing else, okay, so obviously two ends of the spectrum here, but if you're putting in Alyssa Thompson, it's for that speed. Yes, youth and inexperience, but for that speed. And if you're into the 70th, 80th minute of the game and somebody comes in that is just blazing speed, no team wants to see that. And then if you're putting in someone like a Megan Rapino, that's much more of a on-the-ball type of stuff, which the U.S. had kind of gravitated to and become in that second half. So it is a bit of a head scratcher, and I think Vlatko's going to have to answer probably for a long time about why that's the decision.